Hi everyone, this evening I am playing Rivoli 1797. It is one of the four battles that comes with the Early Glories game, which is part of the Jours De Glorie series that I recently unboxed on my channel. I've got the first sort of going through the scenario book. This is the first game or battle in the scenario book, so where better place to start? We've got the French set up here. These are French counters against the Austrians. There we are. There are a number of victory hexes. So from memory, there's this exit down here for the Austrians. There's Rivoli itself. There's a couple. I think there's this victory hex here, and I could be mistaken. I think I'll double check before I start, but I think it's this hex here. Anyway, a number of victory hexes for the Austrians. The French have just got to, the way I'll be playing it this evening anyway, the French will be trying their hardest to destroy the Austrian formations. I think if they destroy 2 or 3, I can't remember now, they get instant victory there. There are quite a few reinforcements as we play through. There is 13 turns, of which a bunch are night turns. And what I'll do is I'll play through a few turns and do a bit of a recap, depending on what happens as I play through the game. This is the first time that I have played this battle. So we'll see how we go on. In history, Napoleon famously was the victor. We'll see how we fare this evening. I think I've got a long... I might play over a couple of evenings, actually. I've got a few other things on at the same time. So, but yeah, the map looks great. The counters all set up. Looks very enticing to play. So we'll see how we do. So in the first 2 turns, which are both night turns, there's been quite a bit of activity over this side of the map. The Austrians push their luck and try to engage with the French. They have created a disordered unit here, or counter. The French reacted, not too plussed, I would say, and pushed the Austrian infantry back and pushed them back again, and were able to rout this unit here, and in doing so eliminated this artillery unit here. So the Austrians have already taken a casualty. The French boldly making good progress on this side, this higher ground here. Both sides have suffered, I would say, from a little bit of lack of orders, which is the nature of this Napoleonic era. You can't get all the units or the counters to do all the things you would want. So already into the thick of the action. Now, interestingly, one of the rules about the night turns, one of the rules about this particular battle is that infantry cannot form squares if charged by horse. So the French do have some horse units here who are probably just grazing and not been able to do anything, not activated. Too early in the morning for these units here. It is only, of course, at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm very joking. It just didn't get the right die roll to activate. So hopefully they'll be coming into the game. Now, there are some reinforcements due later, but we've got a few more turns before that happens. So we're now at the end of turn number 4. Just finished turn number 4. The French are doing a pretty good job of pushing the Austrians back on this higher ground area here. We've got some of the Austrians in rout. Some of them have been able to rally. Some of them will be able to get back into the battle, but the French have definitely been pushing. However, as we can see here on this side here, we have quite some substantial reinforcements for the Austrians, both on this side and significantly this side. So the French are going to have to bring some units round back here to be able to stop them. Now, obviously, what they could do is move into these hexes here and stop them at the pass there. We'll see who gets the initiative. We'll see. This is a chit draw game, so it gives a more of a pacing of unpredictability, I think, which from a gameplay point of view and from a narrative point of view is one of the things I like about the game. So yeah, we'll see how that plans out. Now there are some, not sure. I'd have to double check to see if there's more reinforcements the next turn, but there certainly are. Looking at the reinforcement stacks on the top of the board, which is just off camera where I placed them, there are some more reinforcements yet to come onto the game. Definitely, the game's got a nice pace to it. You know, with the chit pull activations, you're pulling chits to activate. So, for example, this chit here, you pull these blindly out of a mug, and the colour and the name, you know, it tells you what formation you can activate. Depends if you gave them orders or not, but reinforcements come on as if they had orders, so that's not an issue. So we'll see. Yeah, it's got a really good pace to it. I'm very much enjoying this already. So turn 4, we've got quite long, not halfway through the game yet, so a lot more to do. So we are now at the end of turn number 6, and it's a huge amount of drama. So the Austrians have been able to march down this road here. They've also got some reinforcements that have been coming this side of the river. Now, these can make I think it's a pontoon or something, to cross over the river, and they will do so. They are going for this objective here. They'll do so as they get closer. French could try and stop them by placing French counters in the opposite hex, but we'll see if that works out. However, at this pass here, so there's a steep slope in these hexes here, the French were able to hold their enemies back, but took some massive casualties as a result of a cavalry charge. However, they were then unable to eliminate those cavalry. As we can see, the French have got themselves in a difficult position of being surrounded by their enemy in this case. Horse on this road here, that however has opened the door on this side of the map. These units here have orders to make their way down to this hex down here and take that. So at the moment they are going to be unopposed. The fighting has moved from this side of the map, this top side of the map, down into these areas here. Both sides have taken significant casualties. Looking at the casualties that I've placed to one side, definitely the Austrians have taken more casualties than the French. But it feels like the Austrians have slightly got the upper hand at the minute. As I've played, especially the last turn, I'm probably kind of feeling that I've not done the greatest job playing as the French in this particular run through. But of course, that is part of the fun of wargaming. You learn from every time you do a playthrough and go, next time I'm going to try it this way and this way. But we'll see how things work out. We are about halfway through the game. There are more reinforcements. But as I have found with this game system, all is not lost. So I think the Austrians have the upper hand slightly at the moment, especially with these large numbers of counters here. But the tide can swing around and turn against them. So especially if they can't activate or can't get across the water here, if these can hold these off, we've got some French cavalry here that are looking to charge against these much weaker Austrian cavalry here. So we'll see how the next 2 turns works out. So we're going to call the game there. The last 2 turns, the French have just romped away with it. It's not a very historically good use of language there, but the French have given the Austrians a good thrashing. It's probably what I would normally describe it as, in a massive turn of events. So just simply to the die rolls, they were able to stop these counters here and actually push them back, and they've got more coming through, and there's nothing they can do about it. These counters here have tried to find a place to cross over, and against the French are just able to follow them and just call them names across the river and stop them from landing over that river. And at the top of the map, again, we've got some French units just wreaking havoc on the Austrians. So in terms of the victory hexes, which are here, 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 and here, the French firmly would be able to control all of those. And in fact, probably if I wanted to play every single turn to the out, they can gain a instant victory by destroying completely a number of the enemy formations, which they would, to be truthful, would be able to do. So quite an interesting battle in the sense of it felt at the beginning the French were very aggressive and definitely were able to push and defeat units in this sort of central area here. Then it seemed that the Austrians were able to, mostly because of just the sheer number of reinforcements, looked like they would have the upper hand, and the battle would turn in their favour. And I certainly at one point, and I've said as much in the video, I actually felt like I was playing the French side very poorly. I actually probably would say I think I played the French side even better. But that just indicates that I felt the battle was moving into the Austrian favour. However, at the end, the French came good and finished the job. Napoleon will be very happy. Most importantly, a fun, engaging evening. I actually played this over 2 days, but you could play this comfortably in an evening. I feel a long evening, I would say, but a very enjoyable, interesting battle with lots of moving parts, lots of sort of engagement in different areas. These reinforcements, this sort of central area here. There was some battling over here in this sort of wooded area here. So lots of narrative that was taking part. So, and for that, I really enjoy it. That's what I'm looking for when I'm playing war games solo. It's what I'm looking for when I'm playing war games two player, for that matter. And the game has that, very nice, fast flowing rhythm to it. I think because it is a chit pull mechanic. So as I said earlier, each of these formations, so that's a formation, for example. I'll describe it as a formation. They will have an activation marker that when you pull that from the cup, that's when, if you've given them orders, and you can roll if they haven't, etc. It's got quite an involving order system, which I kind of like. But what it means is that the game is somewhat unpredictable, and things will happen and changes will happen, and you have to adapt to that as the sort of the general of either side. And when playing it solo, it means that you can have a really fun and engaging narrative simply by seeing what units activate and playing those both to the best of their abilities, as they would do at that point in the battle and where they are in the battle. So very much enjoyed that. Great evenings of wargaming experience, I would say. And absolutely looks gorgeous. So great stuff. Thank you very much for watching. There are 3 other historical battles in this game. I will at different points play through those 3 and probably do an AAR for each one, or I might just do an AAR for a couple. But ultimately, I'll do a review of this game as well. But as you can tell, I really enjoyed that. So again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.